family.
Take a seat.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Great opener. All right. So yes, I'm David. Most of you know me as Erin's cousin. Today I'll be a reverend. The Elks Lodge is my church. We're here in Wyoming, Jackson Hole, one of the most beautiful places in the world. Also, where these two beautiful people met. Sandy and Peter are here. Uncle and Aunt, two people I looked up to my entire life. Created this beautiful person. So beautiful. I've looked up to her my entire life. Last night, her brother Peter said, Erin is literally the most cool person I've ever known. I could not agree more. So cool, in fact, I was a little worried she wouldn't be able to find someone as cool as her to match up with. Which brings me to Jeremy. Hello, Jerry. You know, we've gotten to know each other pretty well for the past couple of years. I think it's fair to say we've become pretty close friends. But I was a little unsure if you were up to the standards of Erin until I met your parents. Norm. So much wisdom. So much wisdom. Betsy, you light up the room. So great to have you here. So great to meet you. And I'd like to thank you, and well as you, for bringing these two great people here. And Jackson Hole for bringing them together. Now, Erin, Jeremy, you ready to rock?
Yeah.
This is a special day. It's a legal agreement that you two make, but more importantly, it's a spiritual bond. But honestly, not too much is going to change. You're still going to challenge each other to be, amazing people, the best that you can possibly be. You're going to continue to go on great adventures through the wilderness, go skiing, go hiking. You're going to continue to inspire those that you work with in the classroom. But most importantly, you're going to make the greatest sacrifice of all time. Erin, when you get home from work at 6 o'clock, you're going to be hungry. Jeremy, as an ambitious cooker that he is, that chicken is only coming out of the oven at 10. And Jerry? It's kind of weird. Erin loves dance moms. You're going to have to just sit on the couch and suck it up. Because that's what love's all about. That's what love's all about, right? And that's why we're here today. We're here to see these two beautiful people come together. And honestly, we all love you. We're all here to support you. And we're so excited to see the adventure that you're about to go on. And we can't wait to hear all the great things that you do together, forever. Now I have to do some official stuff. Yeah. So we'll jump right into that. First thing, we've got the lovely little Lucy here, who's going to go through a little reading here. Why don't you come on up?
Piglet sidled up to Pooh from behind. Pooh, he whispered. Yes, Piglet? Nothing, said Piglet, taking Pooh's hand. I just wanted to be sure of you. We'll be friends forever, won't we, Pooh? Asked Piglet. Even longer, Pooh answered. If ever there is tomorrow when we're not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we're apart, I'll always be with you.
Thank you, Lucy. Now KJ Stanley's going to come up and recite a poem.
The Invitation by Oriah. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can lead with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes, without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to remain true to yourself, if you can hear the accusation, not betrayal, and not betray your own soul, if you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the moon, yes! It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself, if you can be truly like the company you keep in the silent and empty moments. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so statement of intent.
On to the statement of intent.
The companionship you'll share from this night on is the hallmark of marriage. Its natural state and its richest and most valuable gift. The contract of marriage that underpins that companionship is captured in its essence from the vows you'll exchange. That contract is most solemn and must be entered into thoughtfully and seriously, with the deep awareness of its obligations and responsibilities. So, before you say your vows, Jeremy, I'll ask you to declare your intent to be bound by them. Jeremy, do you take Erin to be your wife? To live with her in marriage, to love her, comfort her, honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live. Erin, do you take Jeremy to be your husband, to live with him in marriage, to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Then, mindful of the declarations you've made, and knowing that you'll be held to account for them, now you'll say the marriage vows you've written.
Of course. Hi.
Hi there.
I read an article in the New York Times that described marriage through the Buddhist mantra that goes like this. Life is suffering, and yet. The and yet can go either way. I love you dearly, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you. And yet, I have to wear earplugs because you snore. You are my best friend and an incredible cook who does the dishes as well. And yet, you have a bit of a temper in the kitchen sometimes. It's okay. Or conversely, you cannot even fathom leaving the dishes in the sink overnight. And yet, I miss you when you are away. And yet, I call you every day on my way home from work to have the same conversation. And yet, you are incredibly nurturing and supportive. And yet, you push me to be a stronger person, both physically and mentally. And yet, well, you get the point. I think this perspective is healthy. Marriage is going to be an incredible journey, and yet there will be difficult moments where we will need to communicate openly, empathetically, and compassionately in order to overcome. As I consider what we're about to do, I am not apprehensive. I am excited because I've never felt so genuinely comfortable with someone. I always tell you you're my best friend, you're my favorite person in the world. It's true, and I am certain I want you near me for the rest of my life. Bill Murray gave advice to some men. All right, Bill Murray gave some advice. He gave advice to some men at a bachelor party. In a nutshell, he said that the way to know if someone's right for you, to know if that person is okay to marry, is to travel around the world together. He said you should go to places that are hard to get to and hard to get out of. And if you come back to JFK, when you land at JFK and you're still in love with that person, get married at the airport. Well, we haven't traveled the world together yet, and we're not getting married in an airport. We have been in some situations that were less than pleasant and came out the other side the better for it. Now for the promises. I promise to always work on myself and check my ego when we argue. I promise to continue to develop my capacity for fun and adventure so I can join you on all your weekend excursions and on epic vacations. I promise to be there for you if you get sick and to celebrate alongside you when you share good news. I promise to always tell the truth, but to be conservative with criticism, so I don't hurt your feelings. I promise to try to be as thoughtful as you are when buying you gifts. I promise to ask you questions and listen to your answers. I promise to share the workload, whatever it is. I promise to always learn from you and always teach you. I'm not sure that those promises encompass my commitment to you, but they're a start. I want to promise these things to you because even though, as you once very recently said, there's a lot of dudes out there that are way cooler. There's dudes who do paragliding. I want to be with you. You're the coolest dude I know.
Take it away, Jerry.
In response. Dear Erin, to paraphrase Napoleon Dynamite, you've got skills. And I like a girl who has skills. For instance, you have roller derby skills, teaching skills, book reading skills, friendship skills. Today, I feel lucky and fortunate to be marrying you. What follows are some of the many things I appreciate about you, and are among the many hundreds of reasons why I love you. You are a communicator. I can always count on a call from Fall Creek Road between 4:15 and 4:30.
We talked about the same thing.
I vow to communicate honestly. Sometimes you'll say the cutest things like, I'm a good out loud reader. I vow to always recognize your strengths as a person. Having and keeping good friends is as important to you as it is to me. I vow to be your friend always. You're an easy person to compromise with because we want each other to be happy. I want you to be happy. I vow to make our life together one of compromise. You are a hard worker and are able to concentrate despite my best efforts to make you pay attention. Don't think for 1 minute that this will somehow change once we marry. I vow to make laughter a priority. You always make sure we talk it out when we're struggling. I vow to continue to always talk it out too. Even though you hate to admit it, you're good at recognizing when it's your turn to do the dishes. I vow to keep doing them regardless of whose turn it is.
Yes.
You know what makes me happy, and you're happy to let me be myself. I'm learning what makes you happy and want you to always be yourself. I vow to honor your growth as an individual. I appreciate how you contrive to make me think of you when you're not at home and feed my passion for organization by leaving me little trails of crumbs, clothes to pick up, dishes to put away, puddles to mop up, and switches to be turned off. I vow to always help you, no matter the task. If I'm ever hurting, you drop whatever you're doing and make sure that I'm okay. I vow to do the same for you. Erin, here's to dreaming, living, and loving the future together. You are my best friend and the love of my life. I promise to always be by your side, whatever our future
What do you have?
A ring. So the ring is a symbol of an unbroken circle of love. Love freely given has no beginning and no end. No giver, no receiver, for each is the giver and each is the receiver. May these rings always remind you of the vows you have taken. Erin, please repeat after me. I, Erin Smith,
Erin Smith.
take you, Jeremy Silcox, to be my husband, to have and to hold, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, or for better or for worse. With this ring, I take you as my husband, for as long as we both shall live.
With this ring, I take you as my husband.
Now, Jerry, please repeat after me. I, Jeremy Silcox, take you, Erin Smith, to be my wife. To have and to hold in sickness and in health, for richer or for poor, for better and for worse. With this ring, I take you as my wife, for as long as we both shall live.
With this ring, I take you as my wife. As long as we both shall live.
The power, with the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
And at 16 years old, she was working down in Boston Harbor with work release kids. Now these are people who were released from jail so they could go to work. And she was basically teaching, they were older than her, and she was teaching them boating skills, boat repair, maintenance. And my question, even today, is, what 16-year-old girl does that? So, something unique. I recall what I call our college tour. So I took her to look at colleges, including my alma mater, and David's. Where's David?
Yeah!
Fairfield. Go Fairfield. Go Stags. But it was very clear that Fairfield would not work. Way too preppy for Erin. I do distinctly remember our tour of the University of Vermont, UVM. That's right. I could see instantly that this was the place for her. She loved the mountains, the woods, and the outdoors, in case you didn't know. By the way, her new husband is also an alumnus of UVM. Go figure, Jerry. Catabounce. Her decision, Erin's decision to leave Wyoming, to move to Wyoming, left me scratching my head. Why Wyoming? So typical of this unique kid who comes up with an idea and pursues it, genuinely finding wonder in the world. It turns out a lot of UVMers head this way, and I guess it's the love of the mountains, the sense of wonder, and the free spirit that attracts them. Once again, out here, she found herself working with special needs kids who had really, truly significant problems. That takes serious courage, serious strength, passion, and commitment, and I have great respect for her, and we all do. Her life's work has been one of service and self-reflection, not a job. How many people can really say that? And I just have to mention roller derby. Okay? Roller derby. Really? I honestly thought they stopped doing that in the 80s. She's not just a player, though. She was, at one point, the promoter, the coach, the captain, and an MVP at one point.
Not once, one time.
One time. That's all it
She
takes.
also gave out a lot of ibuprofen and mental health.
Mental health.
That was her roller derby wife talking.
Yeah.
I was her first choice. She's the mistress.
Her first and a mistress.
We'll talk later.
Go Jugs!
Anyway, her pursuit of education, her genuine interest in learning, has resulted in multiple degrees, including a principalship. How cool is that? You go, girl.
Thanks, Bob.
And she's not done yet. She has made us also very proud. Somebody who truly grabs life by the reins and lives it to the fullest. You really do. Getting goosebumps. And I want to say, in Jerry. Yeah! Hey Jerry, what's the story? In Jerry, she's clearly found a soulmate, a partner, a companion, someone who's a fellow hiker, biker, snowboarder, camper, outdoorsman. Yeah, sorry about that. But she did say she would influence him, didn't she?
Yeah, I'm gonna get you on snowboard.
Good luck.
Jerry's somebody who pushes her but holds her hand while he's doing it. That's very clear. They've chosen to live in the most beautiful place on earth in the shadow of the Grand Tetons. I wish them both peace and happiness, a loving partnership. May they laugh together and cry together. May they always drink deeply from the cup of life. And may God bless them and smile upon them all.
Papa!
Justin. Baby Justin.
Come on, Moose. And I'll do it again. Jerry. Come on, Jerry. See my tie on.
For those of you I haven't met, I'm Justin. I'm Jared's full brother by 2.5 years, so I have a huge gap, but he's got me by a little bit. I want to start just by telling some stories about Jared. They're going to be a little different, more brotherly in nature than fatherly. Jared has the honor of bringing me to my first keg party.
Jerry! Only the
Which-
seniors drink from the keg, Mom.
So yeah, if you're a parent and you're out there looking at your scorecard, you're probably like, this is questionable. Maybe we'd have to put this one in the losing column. But anyway, it all turned out okay because we got to the party and Jerry's the senior, I'm the freshman. I'm just following around, trying to not, in high school, try not to be an idiot, make a fool out of myself, as freshmen often do. And Eric, you'll appreciate this. This was at Chris Seavey's house.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is the guy who always had these types of parties when the parents went out of town. But we got there and we're walking around and what should happen, but the police show up.
The house was on the market, actually. The house was empty.
Oh yeah,
trying to
that's
sell
right.
it.
The house was on the market.
Parents moved.
Parents had moved, it was empty. The police showed up and what did we do? We ran. We ran for the woods, deep into the woods, and just waited for things to die down. And when they did, we got back to the car. We hadn't even had a beer from the keg and drove home. So thanks, bro. The next story I want to share, and really the next two are just to show how kind Jerry is and how he's always being thoughtful and thinking of other people and giving advice that may not seem like a big deal to him, but can really be important to other people. After I graduated from high school, I took a gap year, and I was working and wasn't really sure what to do. And Jerry gave me a piece of advice. He said, "You should check out Knowles." And I said, "Okay, what's Knowles? I'm not really sure what that is." It stands for the National Outdoor Leadership School. And so I took Jerry's advice and I went and did a semester with the National Outdoor Leadership School. And it really turned out to be a turning point in my life because I'd always been a great student. I loved school, but I was really sure I didn't want to go to college and waste time and money. And through that experience, it really reaffirmed to me that I had a great passion for science and great interest in natural resource conservation. And I ended up majoring at UVM in wildlife biology, and without that advice from Jer, who knows what may have happened. So, thanks, bro. One more piece of advice that was also pivotal. When I graduated from UVM and I was doing field research, I had worked in Vermont summer after I graduated. Then I went to the Grand Canyon and worked there a little bit, and things tend to really dry up for field biology in the winter. And Jared was in Jackson and he said, "You'd love it here. You really, should come and spend a winter here. I think you'd be psyched if you did that." So again, I took his advice. Ended up being here 7 years, and there's a couple things that happened as a result. I met my wife here at Jackson. And as a result, we have Lucy and Sadie, two wonderful daughters. And it was also, I was presented with an opportunity to coach cross-country ski racing. And I still continue to do that today with great passion. So again, thanks, bro.
Yeah, Jerry.
And now I just want to share a couple, some fun facts about Jared. Jared tends to collect nicknames like crazy. And I know that Ari is wants to talk a little bit about this too, but I'm gonna kind of fill in some of the early gaps. And I'm gonna call on some audience participation here. So, our older brother Jeff, who fancies himself as son number one. Number one son, that's right. Technically, he is the second child because my sister's child number one, but he seems to ignore that. Number one son. I stand corrected again. So Jared's first nickname, of course, was from Jeff, because Jeff is the nicknamer in the family and the wise guy. And Jeff, your first nickname for Jer was? Beaky. Beaky, yeah. That was one of his childhood nicknames. Another one of my favorites is Gel Bell. Gel Bell.
Do we get any backstory?
Backstory, you'll have to come talk to me later about that, because the list is just so long.
Yeah.
If we moved to high school, Eric,
Silky.
silky smooth. High school name, and then, geez, I don't want to leave any out here. I better look at, some college kids' names. So there was a time where we were at UVM together. My personal favorite from those years was Jack Wolfskin. Jack Wolfskin, which, morphed into my personal favorite of all time, Wolfie. That was a good one. So, feel free to bring these out at any time. Yeah, hey, Wolfie, what's up? Jack Wolfskin, yeah, for sure.
They named a backpack after him.
What?
They named a backpack after him.
That's right. Okay, let's move on to the early Jackson days, and even into grad school. Squid.
Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy. Yeah. And the funny thing about this one is, these guys would be Squid and Galen and Jared would be hanging out at the together before the football game, and there would be people who really thought his name was Ron. They'd come up and go, how's it going? How's it going, Ron? And Jared thought it was hilarious. He just played right along, and it's like, oh, I'm doing great. Not correct him. And now that he's an uncle, he has some good uncle nicknames too. Listen and say, what do you guys call him? Uncle Pizza. Yeah. Uncle Pizza. Even Galen's kids have a nickname for him as a surrogate uncle. What's that? Line and Wolf.
Dr. Jerry.
Dr. Jerrison, yeah. So, he's got all sorts of names. Feel free to come up with new ones tonight.
Jer Majesty.
What's Jer Majesty? Jerry, do you have a favorite nickname for Jerry?
I had to call him. I put him in my phone as Bobby Bear because we work together and I didn't want the kids to see our texts.
Oh, Bobby Bear.
Bobby Bear.
Bobby Bear, all right. Gibran, hey, nice. All right. I'm going to turn the mic over to Sarah, but I want to just say that I am so happy for the two of you, and Erin, I am so happy to have you as a sister, and we all are, all of us. So let's raise our glasses. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well done, Boots.
Cheers. Oh, he's still here.
And Erin, you are truly an enthusiast. I remember when Erin first got her job as a teacher at the top. I was a little jealous of the job at the time, but let me tell you why. Erin got this job early in the summer and it began in the fall. And she spent every spare minute she had in the library. Do you remember that?
Yes.
She was making lesson plans, she was learning all about the subject she was going to teach. And these kids are so lucky because she put her heart and soul into this new job. Now I, on the other hand, lost my adventure buddy and was a little sad that summer, not gonna lie. But this is just one of the many examples I can think of. Do you remember when you took off all the wallpaper in that room so you could repaint it? Or when you joined a sport called roller derby, and I asked you if you knew how to skate, and you said, no, it's not a problem. You put the skates on, and you were on the bike path the next day. Yeah. So Erin, thank you for showing me how important it is to be an enthusiast in life. Now this passion, it's not limited to life goals or activities. She also has the same passion for people close to her. And if you're one of these people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Erin will see the best in you, love you, and give your friendship the attention and dedication it deserves. And this makes Jerry the luckiest person in this room. When Erin and Jerry first met, I remember Erin was a little nervous for me to meet him. She didn't need to be because we went out to dinner, the three of us, and had a fabulous time. But afterwards, she asked me what I thought. And of course I said, he is amazing, he's great. But I never told Erin why I thought he was so great. And what it was, what I saw that night that makes me so happy and thrilled that I'm here today. It wasn't the love that you show each other, even though it's still here in abundance. It was your friendship. I saw from that day on that you two were best friends. I was a little sad to be replaced, but for such a reason, I'm happy to step down. Their relationship is built off this friendship. And it's a huge part of what they showed us here today. This makes me so happy and worry-free about your guys' life together. As Nasha says, it's not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes for an unhappy marriage. Erin and Jerry, I hope you never lose your supportive and fun friendship. I'm so happy you found each other. And could we all please raise a glass for this service's soapbox?
Obviously, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. People traveled, a lot of folks are local, but just for showing up for Erin and Jerry, it's a really, really special night. Sandy and Peter, I want to say a huge thanks to both of you. First and foremost, for bringing your daughter into the world, my best friend. And for always opening your home to me. It was a very special place, and we shared a lot of special times there. So I really appreciate that. Also, on the same note, while we are all here together, I should really apologize because for every time your daughter got in trouble, she was with me. Usually it was minor things, but it happened. For those of you who have not met, my name is Jeanette. I've known Erin since I was 16. And fortunate for all of you, especially Jerry, actually jumped in the car and drove Erin cross country when she first decided to move out here. 8 years ago. When we came down to the Tetons, it's a really memorable part for me because I looked over at Erin and I didn't know if this was going to be like a full-on thing we're just going to stay. But she got the first glimpse, the sun was setting, and I knew that this was going to be home for her. So I knew that was okay because she was going to be on this amazing journey to meet Jerry.
The amazing Jerry!
Erin and I were a really unlikely set of friends. She arrived in Hingham her sophomore year of high school. Certainly not the easiest time to break into a crowd. She showed up wearing a I don't know what color pair of Birkenstocks and was outfitted from head to toe in Abercrombie and Fitch. And if you know Erin, you know she loves a good fucking cardigan. Excuse my French, but she does. Regardless of the cardigan, that she has one of every single color in and probably still does today, we still became best friends. There was some sort of instant understanding of each other when we really started to spend time together. We spent a lot of time together. We hit our first fish show together when we were 17. My dad, who's sitting over there, Dad, thanks for being here tonight, actually bought us box seats. We thought it was cooler to sit in the rafters with our friends. Thanks for the good seats though, Dad. Snowboarding winters in New Hampshire, trekking out to Mount Hood summer ski camp in Oregon was always fun. And then sending each other off to college. Erin visiting me in Boston and me going up to UVM, a lot of blurry nights at the higher ground and roaming around on campus up there. Fast forward to now, being adults, getting married, finding partners, celebrating kind of the next chapter. It's truly been a special and beautiful thing to come this far next year, and it's been really fun. The essence of our friendship has always been a solid sense of commitment, support for one another, and you have the qualities of a friend that a lot of people don't get to experience, being on the other side of. Somehow I just lucked out being here. You're loyal beyond measure. You've been there for me when I needed you really the most, and you do, to what Pete said, to echo what Pete said, Erin has the most deepest sense of adventure and lust for being outdoors, and just this energy that's absolutely contagious. So it's kind of infectious when you're around it. Jerry.
Jerry!
Can I say that?
Amazing Jerry!
You lucked out, dude. Get me Erin's best friend. What can I say? In all seriousness, though, you've been an absolute pleasure getting the chance to know. And it's been amazing to see you love my best friend like you do. Hands down, you make her noticeably happier. You have a way to calm her down in those anxious moments. You even let her eat the food off your plate after she's finished her own meal.
That took some time.
Let's just be honest, man. I knew you were a keeper when I found out you were a die-head Red Sox fan. But in all honesty, Jerry, it was truly confirmed for me the first time I saw you two together. You guys genuinely complement each other in the best ways. You have a deep foundation for your relationship that's built on respect, love, and most importantly, a strong friendship, which I think everybody said tonight. On behalf of myself, my husband Matt, and my parents who are here tonight, we're honored to be a part of your wedding, sharing these moments, and continue to build the lifelong memories together as not only friends, but family. Erin's always been a part of our family, but we're really excited to welcome you in too, dude. We wish you guys both nothing but peace, love, health, and happiness in all your years. Cheers to both of you guys and this journey you're on.
Cheers.
Can everybody get a beat going? I'm Artie. I live here in Jackson and been friends with Jeremy and Erin for quite a while now. I work at the Van Vleck House with Teton Youth Family Services, and that's how all this kind of came together. There's kind of a long-standing Van Vleck tradition, or a TYFS tradition, for Christmas every year we would pick names out of a hat, and you would write a Christmas poem for the person you picked. And so just in the fashion of keeping that tradition alive, I thought that I would write a poem.
A poem.
Christmas poem. It's a little bit of a story, but it kind of rhymes. It all started back in the day when Jer hired me at VVH. His patience and calm and his gentle way, people sometimes wondered if he was straight. But I heard the rumors of his special loving. I think that's where the name hailed from. Jer Majesty, when he was hugging. MB, as we all know, Ron Jeremy takes his time, painfully slow in getting across his mind. It was a great call when it comes to Erin. 1 to 10? Nah, she's an 11. You may ask yourself how all of this happened. I'll take some credit for their body slapping. As it was me who called the match. Two people I loved, thinking they might just latch. I hired Erin in 2006. Her collar popped like Slick Rick. The country club look was a bit deceiving, and the ski bum boys had her grieving. You see, Erin wanted a good man, not a ski bum with no plan. She moaned and groaned about no groovy dudes, so I gave her a list of some worthy grooms. At first she said, "Are you kidding me? I'm not interested in that older guy. I need someone younger and way more fly." Oh, well, I thought to myself, but pointed her out to Jer Braun nonetheless. On the prowl, he was like a cougar hunting prey. It took some years for him to get through her doorway.
Red Top Meadows is where it all went down. His way with the kids and the talk of the town. When their teaching abilities got his attention, they now had a connection that dissolved their tension. I think that he was trained in I'm not sure. I think he's trained in hypnotizing clients. I can't stop thinking that he had to use this on her because, I mean, he's old enough that she could be his daughter. She looks right past his balding head. She looks right past his balding head. When he's sick, she looks past his crying in bed. I mean, she even deals with his anal retentiveness. It says a lot that she hasn't grown sick. I'm just so happy that this has all worked out, that they found in each other a quirky spouse. Whether it's Stomps breaking necks out on the track, or Jer's hanging of the belly over his spandex. When you're with them, you feel the love. And you know that they fit like a glove. So raise your glass. Raise your glass to these two. And cherish your friendship for years to come. Thank you.
real good kiss, huh?
Ah, right.
He sings out a song which is soft as the sea, as if maybe someone could hear. Good night, moonlight ladies, rock my sweet baby Jane. Deep dreams and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down my dreams and rock up my sweet baby Jane. Now the 1st of December was covered with snow. So was the turnpike from Stockbridge to Boston. But the virtues seemed pretty much on account of that frosting. 10 miles behind you, and 10,000 more to go. There's a song that they sing when they take to the highway. A song that they sing when they take to the sea. A song that they sing that they're holding in the sky. Maybe you can believe it if it helps you to see. The singing was just fine for me. So good night, moonlight ladies, rock up my sweet baby Jane. Deep dreams and blues are the colors I choose. Want to let me go down in my dreams and rock up my sweet baby Jane. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light in the sea. Though I won't be afraid, oh I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. It's the sky that we look upon to tumble and fall. All the mountains